folks, welcome to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Hey folks, it's Phil Myers from Myers Metal Detectors, and today we are excited. We've got a special guest on the show today, and we're going to get started right away. Jeff, are you ready for me to do the disclaimer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, folks, today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we not only sell fun, but we sell adventure. And now for the disclaimer. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by the Treasure Talk guest and members belong solely to the guest or member, and not necessarily to Myers Metal Detectors, Phil Myers, Jeff Bonin, or Jocelyn Myers. And with that, Jeff, you can take it away, buddy.
All right, folks, we got a good one for you tonight. As you've been watching all the promos we've been doing, we got Kelly NOELLER tonight. He is in northern Missouri. He does metal detecting trips and fishing trips or hunting trips, if that's your thing. And the good thing about what Kelly does is you call him and you tell him what kind of stuff you want to hunt for. We're talking metal detecting now. If you want to hunt Civil War, he's got that, or whatever you want to hunt for, and he will design a trip for you, for just you yourself, or you and a buddy, or you and your wife, and how many ever you want, he can handle it. So without any further ado, let's bring in our guest, Kelly NOELLER. NOELLER. I'm old. Okay, there we go. How are you tonight, Kelly?
Doing great. And yourself?
We're pretty good.
Good.
Pretty good. So, Philip, take it away, my friend.
Okay, well, Kelly, we're glad you're on the show here today with us, and excited to hear about treasure hunting adventures, because everybody I know who metal detects always likes to do these types of hunts, and the hardest thing to do is find interesting places to hunt. That's always what it's been. So when Jeff told me you were going to be on the show, I thought that's great.
Yeah, I'm having just a little hard time hearing you, Phil.
Oh, maybe I should speak closer to the screen then. Yes. How's that? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, and let me see if I can turn my volume up a little. There we go. Is that any better?
A little bit, yes.
Okay, so I guess first off, why don't you tell us and tell everybody on the show how long you've been metal detecting and how you got started into detecting?
Oh, it's been almost 50 years. My grandfather would take me out, and we'd metal detect. Of course, I got to be the digger, and we'd find stuff. And unfortunately, I couldn't find that photograph that I had. That just a little guy sitting there, holding some of the stuff that we found. That I don't know what's happened to it over the years. My grandparents, great and my other grandparents, they were always telling me stories of Jesse James and all things that that happened in the past history, and it's just I don't know, it's just something that I've always done ever since. I've always had that fascination to go save history.
Absolutely. And why don't you tell everybody what part of the country you're in? Where are you located at?
Yeah, and northern Missouri. It's kind of between Kansas City and St. Joseph. Cameron's actually the name of it.
Awesome. And I guess the type of trips that you have for people, are there hunting Civil War sites, or what type of hunting are you doing?
Yeah, I've that's Wilson Creek Battlefield which is down by Springfield, Missouri. I'll take a group of folks. Of course, with the COVID things, kind of put a damper on a lot of it. But 3 or 4 in a group, that's about all I'll do right now. Until we get something figured out as far as the COVID stuff. And but did a lot of research in that area, met a lot of folks. Got told no a lot, but had a few that said yes, and that I could bring a couple friends in with me, and with pretty good success. The most recent thing that I unearthed was a 1855 Springfield musket trigger guard. And it wasn't until I got home that this other piece of iron that I thought was, some type of horse tack or farm equipment, turned out being the front sling mount to that same gun.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, and it was, of course it's really bad pitted, but I was able to bring her back to life. I mean, to the best you can, and to hold something like that from 170 plus years ago, history left that there for me to find, I guess, and I found it, and it just kind of one of those those old chest pounders, that
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that you really scored.
Now, how long have you been doing the metal detecting trips?
Actually, this is that'd be my second year.
Oh.
But like I said, it's just COVID just has messed things up so bad that folks just really they kind of want to stay home. But I think a lot of folks are saying, you know what, I'm ready to go detecting, and that's where they're going to go. Is they're going to go detecting, and I want to take them, and the one thing that I've definitely discovered with that is certainly got to meet a lot of really cool folks. I've had them come in from Chicago, from Montana, Oklahoma, and Texas, and some here in Missouri as well. And they just had a really good time, and I set everything up. I mean, they have to make their own motel reservations and whatnot, but I worked out a deal with the manager at one motel that in this day and age, any time you can save a little bit is kind of nice,
Mm-hmm.
So he gives kind of a discount.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
what on that particular hunt area, what type of finds do people dig up?
I'm sorry.
I said on that hunt, I guess you're hunting that Civil War site. What type of finds have your customers or your
Oh yeah,
up?
they found enlist buttons, finals, the scubbard tips, and of course the round balls, the mini balls, those have been unearthed as well. Flat buttons. Had one that found 59 Indian head. I pulled a couple 1910s, a Liberty quarter, and Wheaties, those types of coins. No gold yet, dang it.
Oh yeah, I'm still waiting for my gold coin too.
Right.
So I've dug hundreds or probably in the thousands of silver coins, but just no gold yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Any belt buckles or anything like that? Have you
Say
guys
again?
unearthed up there? Any belt buckles or
No. Unfortunately, no. They, it's one of those holy grails, and I've been looking for it all my life. When me and my wife got together, we had been hunting her first year, and Actually, right here in town, she unearthed a U.S. belt plate, and I'm thinking, man, that's some. There's got to be some irony in there somewhere, you know. I've been looking and looking, and actually, it was a couple months later I finally did find mine as well. But they both came out of Cameron here,
Well,
Nice.
cool.
but we never have unearthed yet. We have yet to unearth one down there. Of course, you know it's federally protected. You can't go on the actual battlefield. You know these are farms that are just across the road from it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
don't you find that the protected historic site probably only encompasses part of the battlefield? I
Yeah.
imagine those skirmishes were taking place all over the place, not just
Oh yeah, and you know as they the Confederates would have retreated. You know it didn't just confine to just the area, but a lot of it did.
right. Now, have you found a lot of Confederate items?
One main thing that I have found was the shotgun slug. That was Confederate. No buttons yet, um, but I mean no. There's been a few question marks on some of the three ringers um, as to what caliber. Um, but that's about the extent of it.
Okay. But there's probably Civil War or Confederate stuff found pretty close to you, I imagine.
Oh yes, absolutely. That with any battle site, it's over the years they've just they've been hammered pretty good, and a lot of that stuff was closer to the surface back then. Of course, they didn't have the what I call high powered machines that we do today. You know, so we can get down there that 10, 12 inches and reach these items. Unfortunately, I have yet to discover the cannonball, so I'm still looking.
Absolutely. So you mentioned detectors. What detector are you using most of the time?
Oh, mine's Expedeus. I'm real fond of that one. I've had some great discoveries with it. It's um, it's just a very well-rounded machine. I mean, as far as the processor in it, uh, you can run that thing over iron, and it's going to pick out that target. It'll All you have to do is just see that number pop up, hear that tone, and you got to get the iron or whatever's in the way out of the way.
Hmm.
That if it shows you that number, it's going to be in that hole.
Right. Yeah, the Expedeus, Jeff used one, and I haven't used one very much, but I know they're really good in iron, and it seems to be a real popular detector for relic hunters. They really like that. I'm in Tampa, so we do have some relic sites.
Oh
Because
yeah, yeah,
yeah, we had Fort Brooke in the 1820s through the 1870s. So you got a big window of finds that can be found. But a lot of guys do use the dais down here, not for beach hunting, but for everything else.
right, right, right.
They'll use that. They'll use the Equinox multi-frequency if they're hunting salt beaches or whatnot.
Yeah, and
So,
I'm seeing the Knox being run quite a bit as well when folks come. I would say over half are probably running the Knox that's came through my hunts.
oh, okay. So, what is your personal best find?
That definitely would be the 1776 colonial dollar. Um, Unfortunately, it's very trying to get it authenticated because it was found underneath a gravel road, um, and the characteristics, um, the identifying characteristics, are very hard for them to find and see. And um, I've taken it to coin shows there in Springfield and St. Louis, at first it's always the kind of the same thing that I hear is that well, it's a reproduction. You know, these coin not companies but clubs that people are in. You know, that whenever people would join, they would issue a reproduction. Now, when they put their eyepiece to it, I always hear the same thing. Oh, wait a minute. And then they tell me, you need to take this to, you know, the folks that grade it and get it completed. But that's one of those that, well, I'm not going to mail it, you know,
Yeah.
because once it, once that happens, um, there's I've been told that it would book anywhere between $1 million and $1.6 million.
Oh, geez. Boy, that would.
It's very, very, very rare.
Hmm,
So your
absolutely.
wife is keeping it for you, right?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
Yeah, well, that's if she's smart, she is. You figure if if you go someplace and you're expendable, she's got the coin. She says, "I'm
Yeah,
fixed up." Yeah,
yeah. Where'd he go?
who cares? I got the coin.
Yeah, right.
So, how
Hey,
many areas
Absolutely.
is that you're able to hunt on this Wilson Creek? Do you have some areas that have not been hunted as heavily? And have you got anything new coming up that you're working on as far as permissions?
Nothing new at this time. I'm kind of in limbo, just kind of waiting and seeing what happens with the COVID stuff, and gosh, it's so frustrating because not. I mean, the only other thing that along those lines is we also do like corporate events where they'll bring us in. We'll plant things and supply the machines, and they'll take their company employees out, you know, on a weekend dig or something, and so they make it kind of a challenge. Um, only had one of those because, again, what I keep talking about, that dang COVID. It's really just put the kibosh on so much of what I do, and but it's really a lot of fun. I mean, it just and you meet such fantastic people, and you know, you get to talking about history and you know what happened here on this day, and it's absolutely the coolest thing, I think.
it
And the
is.
COVID's going away. I mean, well, this coming year, 2021 is going to be a much better year for all of us in what we do as far as, beach hunting, relic hunting, a lot of the planned digs and hunts. We've
Right.
got one here coming up in Florida Hunt 7. That's coming up in the about the middle, towards the middle end of February. And I think we're going to be okay with that. I know I'm going to England with one of my brothers from another mother, Tim Naylor. We're going in September, so I think we're going to be okay with that. And us here at Phil and I and Jocelyn, we've got some things that we're kind of simmering on the burner, for this coming year,
Yeah.
late spring, summer. That I think we're going to be okay on. So I think
Well,
you may be getting some people from Florida and areas down here that want to come up there and get put on some goodies.
oh, that'd be great. I mean, yeah, I just have metal detector will travel. You know.
Well,
So,
when they
so,
call you and they mention Treasure Talk, just give them an extra
Absolutely.
special.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so Kelly, what time of the year is best to hunt in your area?
What I tell folks is that it's best to do it in early spring, especially if you do a lot of yard hunting. Of course, out in the fields, it really doesn't matter. But um, if at the end of June, July, and August, um, when you go, if you don't water your hole back in, you run the risk of leaving a brown spot, no matter how hard you try. And even if you cut three sides, flip the grass part back, and um, because you just don't have the moisture,
Right.
um, and then and that's not going to leave a very good taste in a property owner's mouth. Now, the following year, when it begins to grow, it seems to really take off because it aerates the soil. So then they're cussing you again because they got to mow it twice as much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, I do have a question here from Mark Hoover. He's asking, are you are you part of the Team XP?
I'm sorry.
I said, are you part of Team XP Deus?
I was at one time. I'm no longer involved there.
Oh, okay.
I kind of went out on my own, and that's when I started, creating these things. And um, but yeah, I was the Missouri rep there for a short amount of time.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to bring my phone closer. It's hard to hear for me, I guess.
And
Yeah,
you're getting
we're
old, dude.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's high five.
yeah,
And trust
yeah,
me, that's coming from Father Time here.
I understand. I was gonna say, but I thought, no, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, there ain't no dark up here. This is all.
I noticed that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
absolutely. So, I've got a question on here about copper plates. You want to tell us about those?
Oh,
Copper,
absolutely.
copper.
That's probably one of my next best, at least my top five favorite things to find. Um, Copper plates, and what a lot of folks don't realize is that back in the day, they would use copper plates like we do paper today. Um, Paper wasn't exactly in abundance, um, and it seemed like there was a copper mine every in every county. Um, and folks would they doodle on them. The Native Americans would document, um, their trails or whatever that was that they had experienced. And to me, it really documents a specific part in our past, and it's just to find those and to see how people pass their time. And I have one that's in my collection that I'm about 70% sure that it has a KGC background to it. I don't know if you're familiar with them. That's Knights of the Golden Circle. And the reason that I say that is some of the symbols on there are upside down as to where the normal treasure signs would be just opposite. So
Yeah.
these plates are it, and they're very. I mean, over time they do get very brittle. So if you do, pull one out of the ground, you got to really you got to do your due diligence and take care of that piece and preserve it. Um, and you can see it on my website. That's kellynoeller.com. It's in the blog section there, and um, they're so fascinating to me.
And what size are they? Since I'm not able to pull that up and look at it right now. Size.
Anywhere from 2.5 to by 4 inches. Some are like 4 by 5. Um, it's nothing monstrous by any means. Pretty common, like wallet size.
And
The standard folding wallet.
and the thickness of it?
It's not very thick at all. It'd be less thick, about half the size of a dime.
Okay. So it's a thin copper plate then.
Exactly. Yes.
And you said they're from all the way back to 1800s?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they go copper plates go back before that. Um, when you get into England and the older countries, that there was always some form of documentation on a copper plate.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I haven't had the pleasure of finding one of them yet, but I sure hope I do.
Well, you're doing, like you said, the Knights of the Golden Circle. Now that's become very popular again. Now everybody's starting to know about it more because obviously because now the Beyond Oak Island is starting to do that kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and there's a lot of area out there by you that they roamed around because Jesse James, who was purportedly one of the ringleaders in the Knights of the Golden Circle, he was from around that area, I do believe. He was
absolutely.
from
His
Missouri, but I can't remember exactly where.
Kearney.
Kearney, right, right. So that's right around your area out there. So there was all kinds of bandits and stuff going on out there
Yeah.
during that time. So there may be some other treasure hunting. Now, let's just say, for instance, that we had a couple of viewers that wanted to come and go looking for some of the Knights of the Golden Circle stuff. Is that something you could arrange?
Well, I can't actually say that I could definitely put them on something, but it's not beyond me to get permission to look in a specific area.
Well, that's all. They don't call it treasure finding; they call it treasure hunting.
That's exactly right.
So,
That's
uh, you
exactly
know,
right.
all I think anybody would want is just the opportunity to be able to say, and have an opportunity to find something. And that's what we all want. When Phil and I go to the beach, there's no guarantee we're going to find a gold ring. We go there hoping to find a gold ring or something else. But there's no guarantees there. And, just like when I go into England, there's not going to be any guarantee that I'm going to find a hammered coin or a gold stater or anything like that, but I'm hoping to,
Right,
you know.
right.
So that's something you could arrange for people in that area because I'm sure the areas where you might want to go and try to get permissions or go on some hunts like that. And I think people kill for that.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll try to do the best job I can, um, just for the simple fact of um, I just absolutely love our sport, hobby, whatever folks want to call it. Um, I know there's been some competition, so when you have that, that puts it in the category of a sport. But for most of us, we like to go out and just have fun and find stuff and talk about it over a cold beer at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, Kelly. I do believe, and I think most of the people that are our viewers and that's the kind of thing they like to do. We have a lot of beach hunters, relic hunters, and we've got people from all over the world, really, that are hunters. But it's the thrill of the hunt. And when you find that one bucket lister, I mean,
Yep.
that just makes your whole day. So if somebody came up to do a trip with you and they found one bucket lister, and that bucket lister may be a largie, something like that. Um, it's
Sure.
made their trip. So it's all relative. So if you can put them on that and kind of design, as I understand it, you design the trip as to what they want to look for, correct?
That is correct. Yeah, they
Okay.
tell me what their objectives are, and I've been around enough in this part to kind of know where to take off and at least start at.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kelly, I've got a question in here. How about not to change gears, but how about Indian artifacts?
I don't. I mean, if I come across one when I'm walking through a field, you bet. But there's just something about having that coil to the soil, and away I go. I just got to do it. If I'm going to be out, that's what I'm going to have in my hand.
All right, yeah, I get that. As a kid, I was always picking up the Indian artifacts. I mean, that's what I did. But now I don't do that anymore. Mostly because here in Florida, you got to do a lot of digging for those artifacts. You know,
Yeah.
Hey, you brought up coils. I just got the question. My wife told me, what coil are you using on your XP?
The 9-inch.
The 9-inch circle?
Yes.
Now,
Okay.
is that the HF or is that the X35?
HF.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, and what
Now,
pro?
let's just say, excuse me, Phil.
Go ahead.
Um, let's just say that this, a newbie, and we got a lot of newbies, and sometimes they say, "Oh, well, I'm just a newbie." Well, everybody was a newbie at one time.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's say you had three people that come up and want to hunt, and let's say they've got the Deus or an Equinox. You can help them set up their program
Oh,
for the
absolutely.
type of area that you're hunting. Now, you probably had your own, if you're like me, you have your own programs in the Deus that you've set up, and same thing with Equinox. But you will help the people as far as getting the proper program set up for the area and the type of hunting that they're going to do, and this type of thing.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one thing that I do when, like, say, when folks come to go on the metal detecting trip around around the battlefield, is that I've got an area that I have kind of seated with specific items, and so that way they can bring their machine and they can go through this area first and see how their machine responds to that soil.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, whenever we go into the other places, they've got a pretty good understanding or idea of how their machine's going to react and what tones it's going to give off.
Right, right. We had one other question is regarding to your excursions. Um, Pricing. And I know you can't say, well, it's going to be, $39.99, let's say, for instance, but it depends on how many people are coming up, how far out you've got to go, how
Exactly.
many days, and this type of thing. Just give us a ballpark. All right, let's just say, Phil and I and my other brother from another mother, those two guys came up. We had four people and we wanted to go out, for like 3 days and hunt Civil War and hunt Knights of the Golden Circle. Just give us the ballpark, because people are going to want to know that.
Sure. And yeah, and you're right. There's a lot of variables that come into play, but um, I would, roughly in that on a 3-day event, um, for three people, you'd be looking at roughly in the ballpark 900.
Per person.
No, that'd be for all.
Okay, now what's all included? Let's say if we come up there, we've got to take care of our own motel room, obviously. But do you provide like other trips, like the motel? They're probably already going to have breakfast. What about lunch in the field and snacks and drinks and that type of thing? Is that all included?
No, what I do is it's a 6-hour day of digging. And of course, that doesn't include, or it can include, whatever they want to do. If they're wore out and they want to call it good in that 6 hours, that's up to them. But we'll break for lunch and they can go get them something to eat. And, if they want to wash up before they eat or, whatever they want to do.
Okay.
But yeah, that, like, I send out a sheet with it, and it'll have a list of names of hotels, restaurants, and this kind of stuff. So that way, when they arrive, they don't have to try to guess, as to where they want to stay or where they want to eat. And, it kind of gives them an idea. But yeah, other than that, that's just kind of the rundown of what happens that day. And well, I'd already talked about this, which, when they bring their machine, I kind of got an area set out that
Right, right.
they can learn that. And I've had a lot of good compliments about that folks enjoy that, because if you're gonna come this far and to get to dig, you certainly don't want to walk over something.
Correct. Right. Yeah. And now, do you arrange the transportation from like their hotel out to where they're going to dig? Because a lot of people, what we would probably do is fly in.
Right.
We wouldn't have a vehicle.
Right.
Is there, do you guys take care of the transportation to and from the hunt site?
We can. We can. We haven't been asked to yet. Um, Most folks just get their own vehicle, or they usually just drive in because yet again the COVID.
Right.
But we can pick them up at the airport and take them to the motel. Um, and another reason that I do that seated area is that when you have folks that are they might have a disability, or they can't navigate terrain real well. At least they're in an area that they know they're going to come away with something, and say, you know what, look what I found. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it just I think that I think the folks that have done it so far appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they would. We're just trying to, get the parameters out there so people can make a more educated decision. Because for me, I am of the mindset that I've had about all I want of this COVID crapola, and it's not going to ruin my life and ruin the rest of my life. Hell, I may not have that much of it left.
Right.
I'm getting older.
Absolutely.
But
I think everyone feels the same way, that you know what, that's enough.
and so I
Yeah.
think this is going to be, there's some good things happening on that front. And I think there's going to be a lot more hunting going on in 2021. So, with that, Phil, take it away, my friend.
Yeah, I had just a real quick question on this. Now, you also do other types of hunting, correct?
I'm sorry.
You do other types of hunting?
Yeah, I've taken folks on night fishing trips. Haven't had anyone that wants to really do any type of upland game. Um, and I haven't had any requests for any deer hunting or anything like that. Um, but I
As a,
can sure make it happen.
Hey, how about noodling?
I'm sorry?
Noodling.
Noodling. No, we're not going to do the noodle. No, sir. No, sir.
I thought you were in Missouri. I figured they did that out there. I
Well,
used,
I don't know, but this old country boy ain't gonna do it.
well, you wouldn't dream of doing that here in Florida because you
No,
get,
I'll bet not.
yeah, it wouldn't be pretty. But
now you
I
get a
just,
gator
yeah,
Yeah.
or a moccasin or something. But
yes.
you can take them pheasant hunting now, can't you?
Say again.
Pheasant hunting?
Pheasant.
Yep.
We don't have them around here anymore like we used to. That's unfortunate. The quail have gone. The pheasant have gone. Of course, there's always that speculation that the turkeys ate the eggs, and the armadillos moved up in this area from Texas, and ate the eggs. The chiggers got to the young, but
Well,
whatever
there's
it is, it just,
always something.
yeah.
Yeah. So, Phil, what else you got there, buddy?
Let's talk about the Western Eastern Treasures.
Oh,
Western
yeah.
Western Eastern Treasures.
The magazine, me and my wife are on the cover of it. I wrote a 8-page article. I had found the 1875 trade dollar, and the first thing, unfortunately, that day she couldn't be with me. She was doing the grandma thing, and watching her grandkids. And but when I found it, I sent her pictures, and she was doing the research, while I'm kind of continuing digging. When I found it, she said that was another one of those that supposedly the Chinese had such a fascination with our our money back then, they were trying to reproduce it. Now, to authenticate it, you had to line up the arrow tip and the wing, and certain characteristics on the back of the coin, uh, to definitely prove that that's it was authentic. And of course, coming out of the ground 9 to 11 inches out of the ground there, and had a hole in it at the top of it that back in the day they would sew their money into their coats or their the inside of their pants, because of the James gang, and they didn't want to get robbed, and so that was another telltale sign that someone obviously had it on a chain, because a piece of the chain was still left on it. My wife, she had found the U.S. belt plate, so those were the pictures in the magazine, and of course I had my 3 boys holding metal detectors, and because when they were younger like that, they wanted to go with dad and metal detect, but that kind of changed for some reason when they got in the teens. Old dad was kind of boring, but yeah, it was that was definitely a highlight reel moment for us.
Right.
Well, you
All
need
right.
to post that kind of thing, a link to it, to the article. People can go and post it on our page,
Yeah.
Kelly,
Take a
and
picture of the cover and put
you
it on.
know,
Yeah.
contact info and all that kind of stuff, because I
Sure.
guarantee people are going to want to get a hold of you.
Yeah, and on my website, I've got my phone number on there at the top of the page. So I definitely invite them to call me and ask all the questions they want, and see if I can accommodate.
Well, that is good. Just make sure you get all that posted. You're a member of Treasure Talk. I know you joined, so make sure you get that kind of stuff posted. If you've got a special trip that you're trying to get filled up, as we plan.
Sure.
You got to let us all know so we can kind of plan our own selves.
Well,
And
sure, you bet. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I just want to jump in here real quick and let everybody know, because a lot of people are saying, what's noodling? Noodling is catfishing with your hands. Use your fingers.
Yes,
You got to get in
noodling's
the water and
putting your fist in a catfish's mouth and trying to pull him out of that hole.
yeah, and they can be really big, and you can get in
Yeah.
trouble with it too. But I always watched that on PBS on a couple different channels. And I was fascinated by it, so that's why I asked that question.
Yeah, yeah.
so you thought you'd do it in some of the lakes and ponds around Tampa.
Yeah, yeah. No,
that,
if I can't get on a rod and reel, I'm good.
but that was the digging Canuck didn't know what noodling was, so it's hand fishing for catfish. And some
Nah,
of the
yeah.
catfish are
She
like
probably
50.
wouldn't being up there in Canada.
Yeah.
But
No.
just like a lot of people down here don't know what poutine is. So
No, I don't. No, can't say as I do.
oh, it's good. It's good.
Is it?
So yeah, sure. Yeah, it
I'll be
is.
darned.
It's French fries with cheese curds and gravy on it. Mm-hmm.
Cheese curds and gravy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pass on that, Jeff. Hey,
Yeah.
Oh, I'll make you sometime, Phil. Make you
okay.
some
Well, you're a
sometime.
good cook, so I'm sure you could make it real good.
Yep. Sounds like you better start your own cooking show.
Uh,
Oh goodness.
no, but I got my new shirt. See, look at this.
That's his
My
arch.
arch nemesis. Pull tab.
Yeah.
Now, actually, by you having that, it I think you've probably already seen my website, because I use that same verbiage on some of my blogs.
Yeah.
The arch nemesis of metal detecting.
Well, I
So
got
you know what
this
they say,
for a
great
holiday
minds.
present.
Hey, Kelly, I wanted to ask you about the creation of Metal Detectors of America.
Oh yes, absolutely. I started that back in 2014. Um, it was kind of like there was a lot of them, not a lot. There were several of Facebook pages that were popping up, and um, I didn't want to. A lot of folks were just singling out like a state or a county or a few counties around them and stuff like that. I wanted to have one that covered the world, and little did I know that by Metal Detectors of America, uh, for whatever reason, I chose that because well, yes, I live in America, so we're gonna start there, and down the road, I was like, you know what, I could maybe change this someday, but I got folks on there from all over the world, uh, from folks that cave hunt, um, with detectors, folks that water dive. Um, it just it's I think right now we're almost about 4,600 on our members list, um, and growing.
Awesome.
And I think that's awesome. One thing that MDOA is it's family oriented. Um, so I'm not going to have none of this business of someone getting on somebody's case or saying, well, you didn't dig that. We're not about that.
Yeah.
Post your finds, talk about it, tell your story, and but don't be rude to other people.
Yeah.
And I just I want to express that it's not going to be a an argument or nothing like that.
Yeah. All right, Jeff. So we got a prize to draw for tonight.
We certainly do. And this is for all you people out there that like selfies and like to be in the movies. This is what it is. It's called an Osmo. And, it's a thing you put on your phone and you can, I don't know what it is. It's smarter than I am. So let's put it that way. So y'all will probably be good with it. But you use this for taking selfies and movies, and a lot of y'all out there that's doing YouTube. There's a lot of this going on with this type of thing. So what we're going to do, we're going to draw, and once we announce the winner, you will have 3 minutes. That is 3 minutes to text either Phil or myself. Phil, what's your number?
My phone number is 813-732-7433. And please text. Don't
No phone calls.
don't ring the phone.
And you got that number. My number is 850-545-1651. Now, we're going to announce the name, and you have 3 minutes to text either Phil or myself with those numbers. You should have them. So here we go. What did I do?
And they could Facebook messages too.
Yeah, if you want to do for Facebook Messenger, that works as well.
But
So
I was going to say, don't put it in the live feed because sometimes that goes by so fast that we don't get to see it.
No, live feed doesn't work. So it's at 7:48, and the winner is Louis DeFeo. So Louis DeFeo, you got 3 minutes to text Phil, myself, or Facebook Messenger us to claim your prize.
All righty.
I'll pop my number up there.
All right.
Okay,
So
I just posted my number, and y'all got Phil's number. So at 7:52, we'll draw another name.
He's on the show.
Jocelyn said he is on the show, but you'll just have to follow the directions. Oh,
You've got to follow the
here.
rules.
You heard that little bell? He's here.
Did he text you?
Yes, we have a winner. How easy
Louis
was that?
DeFeo, yes.
Yeah.
Now, Louis, you need to send me your info at treasuretalkshow@gmail.com, and I'll get this out to you. Now, it's not going to go out till after New Year's. We got to let some of this post office get caught up. We had some other prize winners that didn't get their prize, or they got swiped or stolen or whatever. So we're just going to wait for a couple of days to get some of the post office caught up, because we don't want these these things to get lost. But you got my word, you will get your prize. So
Absolutely.
Louis DeFeo, get me your info.
All right, and Kelly, be sure to put your contact information on the Facebook page, Treasure Talk.
Oh, absolutely. You bet.
And I did see where, Jeff, I think we have 824 members now on Facebook.
Yep.
And then I know you got a bunch on YouTube also, because we're simulcasting or streaming in both YouTube and Facebook, which is kind of cool that we can do that.
Yep.
And
Yep. And
go ahead.
we just recently started where all the YouTube viewers are able to get into the giveaways.
How do
By
they do
doing, how are we doing that?
that? Yeah.
Okay, the first thing you have to do is you have to subscribe to the channel, Treasure Talk on YouTube. First thing, you got to subscribe. Then what you need to do is you need to send an email to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com, and you need to ask to be a member of Treasure Talk YouTube. I will send you an email saying you are now a member of Treasure Talk YouTube. Every week, I will post a video with the giveaway of the week, and we always use a catchphrase. This week, for this one, is the catchphrase is "I want to be in the movies," or "I should be in the movies." You'll have to send a separate email to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com with the catchphrase. I will reply with "You are entered." Then I compile all the names from the Facebook group
They want you to say the
and the YouTube group, and I put them into a random name picker, and we draw the names. So everybody's got as much chance as anybody else. Now, you can enter on both, but it's not going to give you any advantage because the random name picker filters out duplicate entries. So there's not going to be any advantage to enter both places. But we love having y'all from YouTube. Y'all are great people, and we hope that you're enjoying it and joining up with Treasure Talk on YouTube. But subscribe, like, hit that little bell so you get notified when we go live or we post any kind of content. We do that all the time. As the weather gets better, Phil and I will be doing some skills schools and stuff like that people seem to like, because if there's anybody that knows anything about metal detecting, it's Phil Myers. So that's kind of what we've been doing, and I hope y'all are enjoying it. And Phil, take it away.
Okay. I would be remiss without wishing my wife a happy anniversary, because it's been 39 years today. And
Oh, wow.
Happy anniversary to the guru.
yes,
Jocelyn, you done good.
I did.
Wow.
I think
You done good.
and she stuck around and put up with my compulsive digging for 39 years.
Yeah, well, she's the one that made you get. She's the one that told you you ought to open a metal detecting shop.
Yes, she is. She says you should sell these things. You love them so much. So yeah. So anyway,
That's right. And now another thing too, y'all got you got a treat coming up on January 25th. It's going to be the Philharmonics. That's Phil Myers and Philip Myers, his son, and they're going to do a concert for us. Phil on the banjo, and Pip will be on the
mandolin or guitar, he'll pick whichever one he decides.
whichever one he chooses. So that's going to be, and we're having, then we'll have Greg Papalo on as well with an update on Florida Hunt 7. But, the man has no end to his talent. Not only does he run the best metal detecting store in the world, he's the best metal detectorist I've ever known, and he's an accomplished musician. And he's got Jocelyn, and they had some fantastic children, with Philip Jr., Amanda, and the grandkids, Hambone and the others. They're great. So
Nice.
You make
We're
me
gonna.
feel
We just
good.
thought that would be fun to do. So make
Yeah,
sure you tuned in.
yes, it'll be interesting to say the least.
God gets the glory.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, let's get back to the chat here with more questions. So Kelly, as soon as this COVID thing goes away, you're going to be up and running your trips for Civil War stuff or for other types of hunting besides Civil War hunting.
Yeah, I've had some folks that they just want to find silver coins. Folks want to find just old coins. Um, and it's not beyond me to knock on a door
Ask.
and get permission. And that's one thing that I want to express to everyone listening and whatnot, that they need to get that permission. Don't ever give our hobby a black eye, and when you do get that permission, make sure you haul off the trash and the junk iron, and put it back just as nice as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know there's a lot of hunters who have never found a silver coin. They're beach hunters or whatnot, or they just have park hunting and they've never found a silver coin. So I imagine they would like that type of trip also, besides
Yeah,
war stuff, just to be on an old property. Because
yeah,
a lot of people just don't have those opportunities. So that's awesome that you do that.
yeah, and that's I've had a lot of folks from the up north that that has came, and they said we just don't have the history there.
Yeah,
And so I was just want to make sure everyone gets a chance to enjoy it.
absolutely. And it's always about the hunt. A lot of times
Yes,
we don't find a lot, but we just have a good time looking. And that's
yes,
got it.
And the same thing, Kelly, like you say, with what you're educating them on their machine with your test gardening and things, they're going to learn a lot more about how to hunt and more about their machine that possibly they just didn't realize. So that's a
absolutely,
bonus right there.
absolutely. You're exactly right, and that's a lot of it, is to learn what that machine is telling you, not what you think it should be telling you. And if that doesn't make any sense, I understand, but it really does. Once you slow down, it is a key factor. We get excited, we get pumped up, we're going through there, and next thing you know, we're rolling up our ends as we're swinging. And I told I had just the last week I had one. I said, rotate that elbow out as you come in, tuck it in as you roll as you come out with your coil. That will make you keep that coil level with the soil.
Right,
Absolutely.
right. Yeah. And
Yeah,
don't
because
try to cover too big an area either by trying to do a dance step or something. So you
Yeah,
get this great, huge swing. You're going to be a lot more productive and you're going to find more if you go low and slow and concentrate on a smaller area and hunt it good rather than trying to cover
absolutely.
too area.
yeah, and enjoy the hunt and learn your detector. You wouldn't believe the amount of people who do not know their detector.
Yeah,
That's an amazing thing. And I guess with your test garden or your training there, they'll learn their detector. That would be a side benefit of being on an old site like that.
Yep. Well,
yeah.
we're just about, we got about 1 minute left, Philip. So we'll do some thanking. Go ahead, Phil.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Jeff. And thank you, Jocelyn, for helping me here and putting up with my compulsive digging for 39 years. You deserve a medal for that. And uh,
Well, thank
yeah,
you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well,
absolutely,
we're just really
Kelly.
happy that you were able to join us tonight, Kelly. And we want to thank you for all the information that you have put out there for our viewers and our members.
You
And
bet.
I think that they will be partaking of your services. So we like that. And just to let you all know, next week on January 4th, we'll be in 2021, the year of the non COVID. So our guest is going to be Jason Bazoofi. Their quarter hoarder will be in the house next week on Monday night Treasure Talk, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Phil, happy anniversary. Jocelyn, you are a saint.
You
Thank
are.
you.
And Kelly, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you guys.
Thank
And
you.
we will see y'all
New Year,
next week.
guys. We'll see you. Have
All
a
right,
good one.
bye-bye.
Bye now.
Take care.